everyone, I'm Olga and I'm creating that OlgaShow. I'm at BitCoin conference here in San Jose, California, May 18th, 2013. First time BitCoin conference ever have been created, and here first time in Silicon Valley, San Jose, capital. Alright, capital of Silicon Valley, obviously. Here I'm with two famous guys and sponsors of BitCoin conference. They are from Mycelium and also neftvodka.com, who are sponsoring this event. And I have a Russian speaking and also English speaking Alexander Vasylchenko,
Yes, right.
and Jan Moller.
Yes.
So here we are, and of course OlgaShow. So tell us, please, why BitCoin conference to sponsor by your company?
Well, the Bitcoin conference is chosen because it's the product which we are presenting is the Mycelium payment system. It's the system which allows a merchant to sell their products for Bitcoins, and on top of that, the system allows to sell these Bitcoins, creating for the merchant a new business opportunity. So you can sell Bitcoins for the Bitcoin users, and you can also sell Bitcoin to the same Bitcoin users or buy Bitcoins from anyone in the area. And this way the merchant can have a source of new customer using Bitcoins, and also the merchant can act as a local exchange, Bitcoin exchange.
You are technical director at BitCoin,
Right, that's correct.
At Mycelium company.
Right.
And you are a principal engineer.
Yes.
Did you join at the same time, or?
Yeah, so I joined recently, back in January. I have been working with other IT stuff in the past, and basically found out that Bitcoin is really, really interesting. So I have been spending a lot of time of my spare time for the last few years working on Bitcoin, and decided that I wanted to do something full time. So I found out that they were doing a really interesting project in Vienna, and we kind of got together and started working together that way.
All right. And what's your first product? Did you introduce any product for customers yet? Or any prototype, perhaps?
Our first product, it's a software solution. I think I would let Jan talk about this, because he is actually the lead product development for this software solution.
So as Alexander said before, we have made this software solution that allows a merchant to accept Bitcoin. And basically what we want to do is to put Bitcoin into the hands of people, make it possible to use Bitcoin locally in your own community. And so basically we create this the Bitcoin card as Alexander explained previously, and on top of that we make this application that allows a merchant to accept Bitcoin as payment, but also sell Bitcoin back to the same community where they were spent. So this way we will kind of make the Bitcoin economy grow locally, so that everybody has a chance to be part of this system.
So would it work through the computers, internet, or through special business cards, not business cards, but some sort of cards?
Yes.
Gift cards
So
we talked previously.
And there are several ways this can work. So some people, they use Bitcoin on their computer. This has some problems, because with Bitcoin you have some private keys, and if you lose those private keys, you actually lose access to your money. So for that reason, we want to help the user protect their Bitcoins, and we have then created the Bitcoin card, which is a hardware wallet that protects your private key and keeps it safe from viruses and hackers and so forth. So that you have basically a piece of hardware that protects your keys. Alexander has
it's like a prototype.
Yeah, it's a prototype we presented already last year, so we are now working on the next generation of the prototype, so which will be much slimmer, looking even nicer than this, and have the same functionality which we really presented last year. So basically, essentially, it's an electronic wallet, Bitcoin wallet, which allows you to send Bitcoins and receive Bitcoins on this card.
Question I have, what if somebody steals this card? Then what's happening?
Yeah.
What could possibly happen?
This card is password and PIN code protected. So if you lose your credit card, and for instance if it's a chiped PIN card, you would need to enter always a PIN, something you know, to conduct any transaction to spend the bitcoins on this. So what will happen? I don't think that the person will be able to spend any bitcoins unless the person knows the PIN code, but normally you don't write the PIN code or the PIN on the card. But also, if you don't back up the key of this card, you will not be able to redeem your bitcoins, because it is like you would lose $100 bill, basically, but with the difference that you cannot use it, but somebody who finds it also cannot use it, unless he knows the PIN code.
So our merchant solution, with our merchant solution, the merchant can then accept Bitcoin payment from this card, but can also accept Bitcoin payment from a smartphone. So some people, they use smartphones for Bitcoins, and some people would use the Bitcoin card. But the merchant solution allows you to accept payment using different ways and so forth. And at the same time, the merchant solution allows you to sell Bitcoins back to customers either using a Bitcoin card or a smartphone or other mechanisms.
Okay. So if I want to use smartphone, for instance, I guess then I have to create an account somewhere on the internet, while with your wallet, I will have its number on the wallet or this particular card and use that for my methods of payment by Bitcoins.
Yes, absolutely. So the central thing with Bitcoin is that you have to protect your private key. The private key is the thing that allows you to spend your coins. With the Bitcoin card, the private keys are in the card and they do not leave the card. So you cannot, you're not susceptible to hacking or viruses and so forth. While with, if you have your Bitcoins on your computer, then you are, in danger of losing your Bitcoins.
All right. So, and of course, this card supposedly would be accessible anywhere in any countries.
Absolutely, yes.
And as long as the merchants will accept that, because basically it's methods of payments of Bitcoins.
Yes.
Okay.
So the merchants, what they have to do, they have to use the Mycelium system with which instantly confirm the Bitcoin payment. There is some intrinsic restriction on the Bitcoin protocol that, in fact, to confirm the transaction, sender and the receiver, they have to wait normally about 1 hour. So our system can do it much faster, but indeed for this reason, you have to use two components. So basically the Bitcoin cards and the Mycelium payment system has to be on the side of the merchant. So the merchant can, in fact, then verify the transaction instantly, much faster than it's done using normal Bitcoin wallets. Which are like an app on a smartphone.
For marketing purposes, you use neftvodka.com. So I guess that was one of the sponsors per se also for Bitcoin conference, and perhaps helping you with production of those cards?
Well, these are two different companies, and we co-brand Neft and Mycelium. We both originally come from Austria, and we decided to arrange our exhibition booth and also arrange the sponsorship together. And it's a nice opportunity to represent Austria here in sunny California.
I thought neft is in Russian words, meaning gasoline, oil.
Well, it means like crude oil, I would say.
Yeah, raw oil.
Yeah.
Raw oil, but it does say that we support Bitcoin economy. So I was wondering, and when I saw it in Russian language, I knew that Russians are here at Bitcoin conference. I just have to find them where they are. And it's nice enough to see some of the technical directors or sponsors or engineers or co-founders of the companies, also Russian descent. And just want to know about your educational background. So would you please tell me about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I was born in Ukraine, and I received my master's degrees in radio physics in Ukraine. And then I worked in Germany, and in Belgium I received my PhD, so it's a postgrad studies in the biggest Europe microelectronics center in Belgium, and now I'm working in Austria developing this Bitcoin card.
Something for the future payments. And what about Jan?
Yeah, so I'm from Denmark, and I have a master's degree in computer science from the University of Aarhus. I've been developing software for many, many years. I've been doing cryptography at a company in Denmark and in Belgium, and found out that cryptography is really, really interesting, and I really liked it a lot. And then I spent some years doing server virtualization at VMware here in Palo Alto, and found out that I kind of wanted to go back to cryptography, and all of a sudden Bitcoin came along, and it kind of it combined many of the things that I find interesting, and I just had to do something with Bitcoin.
All right, and so what would you wish for our viewers about Bitcoin and perhaps...
I think that you should look up Bitcoin on the internet, go to Wikipedia and start reading, and maybe it will catch your interest. I think it has many, many interesting properties that we really want these days. So we want to be, we want to liberate ourselves from, corrupt systems and banks and so forth, and really be in control of our own money. And Bitcoin gives us that.
And also Bitcoin technology, what Jan's efforts and our efforts here in the conference and in our company, we try to make Bitcoin mainstream. So we actually essentially try to make the use of Bitcoin much simpler for ordinary people, that you don't need a lot of special backgrounds to use Bitcoin. And so that's why we want to support more and more people use Bitcoin as a very competitive technology in the payments market.
And all over the world, 24/7.
Right.
And make it secure transactions. So that's perhaps future of the payments in our lifetime. And we will see that in the future, what's coming next. We don't know, but we all hope for the best. At least our opportunity was introduced to Bitcoins to our viewers. And thank you, and thank you for coming to my show. And thank you for supporting Bitcoins. We never know. We're going to see and learn. OlgaShow.